Hello, everybody that is going to be signing in just a moment. I am here with Kelly and Shaheen, and hopefully a few other people are still going to pop in and join us as I will very quickly just say hello, and then I'm going to turn the camera back off. Hey, guys. And I just love the way it looks over here. It's such a, oh my gosh, there's a lot of you signing in. Well, that's great. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to share my screen in just a moment. Charles, good to see you, sir. All right. Can you guys hear me at home okay? Just want to make sure you guys can hear me. I can see you guys good.
Yes.
Yes.
Sounds good. All right. Well, let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to get my screen mirroring going here at Skokie. So while I'm doing that, I just kind of wanted to remind you a little bit of why we're here today and what the difference is between today and the other days that we've been together this week. So to review, just like we did a quick review at the beginning of yesterday, your business plan, your digital business plan, it's going to be a lot of stuff in it that requires harder work, more work than in the past. And why is that? We know that's because the market's different than in the past. So you've got to work harder, not smarter, but harder first. And then today, what we're going to talk about is we're going to make this a little bit more fun. We are going to today say, what can we do to work smarter? What can we do to work smarter? So I'm going to go ahead and cast into the room, and then I'm going to share my screen. And I've got to have multiple tabs open today, simply because there's going to be a lot to cover. All right. So before we begin, I'm assuming everyone is on Wise Agent. If you are not yet signed up with Wise Agent, get with Laura Medina because she will get you turned on. Once you get turned on to the system, let me turn us on our screen at home. Once you get turned on into Wise Agent, I will tell you this much. I went and looked at every single CRM out there before we went with Wise Agent. I believe it is the best. I believe it is the smartest. I don't believe it's the easiest to use. And I know by paying for it for every one of you that is not the cheapest. However, my commitment to you this year, and we've been talking about what I want to do in the coming year to help you, is to have you master Wise Agent, not just get it and get your contacts in there, but master it. We had a really good use of the October newsletter. I already know what the November event's going to be. It's going to be cool. And there's going to be some fun stuff that you can do to customize that. But the biggest thing I want to stress to you is that if you are looking at all our tools and you're going, there's so many tools, where do I prioritize first? I believe that your first priority should be Wise Agent and the integrations I'm going to show you today. So I'm in my Wise Agent account. If you've not been in here a while, it looks a little different. I'm not using some of these commission reports and things that I should be. I will be some point next year because that's some of the cooler stuff for I would say learning 2.0. But today is 1.0, and 1.0 is going to be your integrations. So we're going to go into Wise Agent, into the integrations tab, guys. Super easy. And then once you're in that integrations tab, see where it says settings, partners. Well, guess what? We're going to go into settings. And that is where all the different integrations live. Now, I'm going to tell you a couple other secrets today, is that Wise Agent is the only CRM that works with the exit tools. And I think right after you get these integrations set up into your Wise Agent account, the very next thing you need to do is get your exit tools up and running. The reason why is your exit tools look so good. When I go up against a competitor or I see some of the stuff out there that doesn't work like our tools, I'm so grateful. But I'm also trying to help you work smarter. Remember, yesterday, work harder. I need more contacts. I need more events. I need more this. I need more that. Today is like, well, how can we work smarter? One of the best ways I can help you work smarter is by making sure that you do what? No double data entry. And as a matter of fact, no data entry at all if you really work this system right. And so we're going to start with the most basic of those integrations, and that is Google Contacts. That is Google Contacts. So if you click on in Wise Agent, Google Contacts, all you've got to do is activate that sync to the Google account, aka the Gmail account that you actually have all your contacts in. Now, for some of you, that means you have created like a new professional Gmail account, but then all your old contacts are in your old, maybe not the most professional named Gmail account. I have been using nickliebert@gmail.com for 20 years. So I didn't have that problem. I would say to you, whatever you use as your professional Gmail. I mean, if your personal one isn't that bad, just use that one. I don't care. Stop complicating it. However, if you want to get a more professional Gmail name, but you just need to transfer your contacts over, because Google Contacts syncs up to the Gmail account that's going to then sync up to your phone. You can only sync one Google account to your Wise Agent. If you have questions on that, talk to Wise Agent or talk to me, okay? But that is your first step. If you don't have Google Contacts set up, guess what? Where are you starting from then? What's in your phone? What's in your phone? What email system did you use before this? Because Gmail is the only, it's the Cadillac of the industry. It's where 95% of us are working, or over 95%. So that is the integration. If you don't have a Gmail account yet, you need to get one, because almost everything else now is working with Gmail. And we can come back for questions at the end, but that is the first big step, is Google Contacts. When we scroll down, the second big step is going to be Gmail Conversations. And you're obviously just going to sign in with that. Now, why is that separate, you ask? You know why that's separate is that maybe you've got a Gmail account, Google Contacts syncing up one thing, and you're a little afraid to do the Gmail conversation sync, which all it does is then individually, it will pull up, when you pull up an individual's name, it will pull up all the Gmail conversations you've ever had with them. So it's really, really cool, but only in that one Google account. So they've separated that out. There is a training that I have to do for you guys sometime on the Gmail Chrome extension. One of the coolest things ever. However, I'm not going to do that today. This is like what needs to be your first priority. So these were your first big steps, your Gmail related stuff. I'm not even worried about your Google Calendar at this point. Don't worry about that today. But those were your big first steps. You know what is a semi-important next step if you are trying to figure out where all your contacts live? Suppose you are new to us, but you had a Dotloop account before. So in other words, maybe you're not new to us, but you don't use Gmail Contacts. And I'm cringing if you don't. What about Dotloop? Did you use Dotloop? Dotloop has an integration. So it will take all of that information from Dotloop and bring it over to Wise Agent. And it's now starting to talk back a little bit between Wise Agent and Dotloop. That's going to be a big, big thing they're working on for you, but it already does bring all those contacts in. It does have a minor integration with DocuSign, but we don't use DocuSign here. I pay for your Dotloop premium. So that's a big one. If you're coming over to us from another company, you're going to want to look into what you need to do to get your contact information for all your folks out of any other systems and bring them over. Normally, that's a great conversation to have with me before you come over. But a lot of people that we've been training lately, they've already got everything in their phone. And if it's in your phone, if it's a Android phone, so you're already ready. If it's an Apple phone, you've just got to do one thing. And it is a very quick sync. It is a 3-minute video I have for you in the resource center. We can play it together at the end if you'd like it. But you want to make sure your phone is synced up properly to your Google Contacts. So I can show you that at the end. As a matter of fact, guys, remind me. I think that might be valuable for you. The next big thing, there's going to be a few of them together, and they are called API keys. What are API keys? It is literally an integration. It's like a little mini app or a bot that sits in some other services. The first big one is going to be, what did we say? The exit tools. We want to make sure that your exit tools sync up to your Wise agent. And the reason why that is that we find that the exit tools have such a great ability to lead generate. What is it? When I say, I want to see a call to action and then what? Lead capture. How do you get lead capture? You get it by using your Exit Realty tools. So I'm going to go into exitrealty.com, and on the right-hand side, under my name, settings and preferences, that's where you're going to see on the right-hand side, Wise Agent, the only third-party CRM. It's the only CRM that works with the exit tools. The exit tools are so genius for you because your digital business card, once you put that API key, and let me show you where that API key is in Wise Agent. We clicked under API keys, and then we're not going to add a key. We've already got one. It came with your Wise Agent account. You're going to click on that little keyboard, that clipboard. That is copied to the clipboard, and we're going to use it in several different areas. The first one is your exit tools, because I find them so beautiful and so easy to use. So you're going to put that key in there. And then for me, it says update key, but you're going to put it in there for the first time. And once you've got that key in, you are going to then have the benefit of every time you use your mobile business card. And let's just do a 5-second refresher. Your mobile business card, it's on the right-hand side under that same drop-down menu. You have a mobile business card, which is absolutely beautiful. If you've not used them yet, I absolutely love them. You have a smart sign card for your smart signs as well. That's your second one. And then you also have individual property text codes for every single one of your properties. And so when someone texts you using one of these codes, it's going to not only tell you on your phone, in your Exit Realty Connect app, make sure to download the Exit Realty Connect app. And then also it's going to tell you in the resource center, can send you an email if you wanted to. It should be feeding right into your Wise Agent, shouldn't it? Because I don't want you to have to double data enter. I don't want you to have to data enter at all. So when someone texts one of those individual property text codes, it will come into your Wise Agent account. It will say it's source, exit corporate, and it'll have in the little notes which property it came in on. So it is tracking, or if it's just the general, your business card, okay, well, I know that's a business card that came in, my smart sign. So it's really, really genius for you to have that done, because I don't know where else. If you're using QR codes, there's no lead capture, right? If you're using web links, unless there's a lead capture form, which you got to build that out. Wise Agent has those, but we're not going to show you those today. That all can be done very simply just by using your API key and getting your Wise Agent account connected to your Exit Resource Center. So once that's done, you've got some really cool stuff going on. Your phone connects to your Gmail, which connects to Wise Agent. So all those contacts go in there. If you don't want some people to get your newsletter, I don't know why you wouldn't, but you can always move those people into a different category. But everybody, in my opinion, is a contact that I think should be getting your information and your newsletters and the events we throw and the invitations. So get them into your phone. The phone syncs up right to your Wise Agent. Get them into the Exit Realty tools, because obviously the minute they text you, you've got a lead, you've got somebody to talk to. And then what's next? What's our next big tool? This is Project X. This is not an exit tool. Zenlist. And let me remind you the value of Zenlist. The value of Zenlist is this. Your clients, particularly in MRAD, that's why I like being a local coach. MRAD has what? The private listing network. So the private listing network, we know that 8-10%, sometimes more than that, of inventory in any given neighborhood, in most of our neighborhoods right now, is private. That means it's not on the MLS, the public MLS. That means you've got to set up a separate search to try to send it to folks. It's very clunky to do so. They can't find this stuff on Zillow, Redfin, etc. So Zenlist gives them everything. The private listing network, the regular MLS, And it also allows them, once they use your Zen link and they download their app, the ZenList app, it allows them to set up their own searches for sale, for rent, for commercial, for residential. It is everything. Let your people use that as a lifetime link. You will save yourself. What did I say? Work smarter. Yesterday we talked about harder. Today we talked about smarter. I have not set up an MLS search in 3 years. And I would expect, if you are an agent at our office, that you have stopped doing so as well. I can't think of a reason why you would still want to set up an MLS search when you've got ZenList. Okay? So that is a huge asset to you. But ZenList, I want ZenList to talk to your wise agent. Because what if people are going to the ZenList, Zen link, they're filling out their information because they saw your great post online, but they haven't met you personally. How do you know their contact information? You're going to get it from ZenList. How do you do that? Well, I'm glad you asked. So we're going to go down in our, not in our public profile, not in any of these other buttons in ZenList. And again, I'm in ZenList now. Hopefully you can see that. We're going to go into account. And then in account, we're going to click on integrations. And by the way, I know this is going fast. So guess what? There will be a recording so you can watch it and stop it and play it again. Now, here's the next one. Your API key. Where's that coming from? Well, you've already got it in your clipboard, right? You've already got it in your clipboard. So you're going to do what? You're going to paste it right there. I can save you hours a week by you not setting up MLS searches anymore. I can save you hours of heartache by having your clients not going to Zillow, Redfin, et cetera, because you have more inventory for them than anyone else. Less than 1% of Chicago realtors have this. So you are really in a great spot to say, I have something different and better. What do we talk about the last 2 days? What makes you different? What's your unique selling proposition, your unique value proposition? Here's a huge piece of it right here. A huge piece of it right here. So the next step after that, another thing that's going to save you time. Remember, the concept today is saving you time, working smarter. We're going to go into something that I have for you guys that I probably don't talk about enough. It's Room View. Room View is what? Well, let me show you what it looks like for those of you guys that haven't seen it yet. Hopefully you're all connected to me on LinkedIn, but if you're not, connect with me now. And on LinkedIn, I know it is the social media platform you guys like the least, or it's less fun to be on, but in reality, it's the one you should be on the most. And we'll talk about habit in session 4, our last and final session of our training on the business plans for this year. But in this session, what if I could show you how you can have nice, easy content going on to your least popular social media platform for you, but in reality, the most important for you to be on. Let me show you some of the content that it's come out for me. Chicago mansion tax opponents say, I don't know what they said because I didn't write this article. AI did. The bots. And you know what? Some of these are really good. Some of them I could care less about. Some of them have video, some don't. I have to tell you, I really like the video ones. And so what I do is I pay for you to have your LinkedIn connected to, or you have one social media feed, I should say, that you get connected to your Room View for free, because Room View is the AI content machine that is making these videos and blog posts for you. I can afford to get you one account linked. And then if you love it, you want it posting everywhere, you can pay for that for the advanced level subscription. I pay for the enterprise level subscription for the office. So you get one social media feed for it to be linked to. I beg of you, please make it LinkedIn. Here's why. I know you're not posting pictures of your puppies and scrolling through LinkedIn to look at what the neighbor's doing, because LinkedIn isn't like that. So what do I want you to do? The one you forget about / the one we need the most, the one that's the most newsy is LinkedIn. We need to get you good content on LinkedIn. So how do you connect your LinkedIn to your Room View? Well, I'm glad you asked. You just log in to your Room View account. Now, for me, I have to remember what my room view password is, so please hold for a second. And then they're going to lovely send you a code to your email. And as soon as you get that code, which I just did, and if you're already logged into room view, it's super quick. Then you're going to go into what? You're going to click on leads management. And under leads management, there's a section called get leads on your CRM. And what's right there? Wise Agent. And what's below that? Your API code. And once you do that, then you just got to go to the bottom left-hand side and connect your LinkedIn to your room view and let it do the work. And let it do the work. I have closed deals with that. I've closed dozens of deals through Zenlist. I don't even need to tell you guys that. That has been such an amazing tool. People that found things on the private listing network that when they weren't even really that motivated to look, and they're like, "Oh my God, Nick, I want to go see that." I'm like, "Are you even pre-approved?" We don't know. And they were, and we got it closed. And it's just such a great tool. Room view, it's more on the back end. I can save you 1, 2, maybe 3 hours a week of content creation that you're struggling with because it's all good stuff. It's all real estate and it's all hyper local to you. You just need to set it up. It takes 10 minutes to set up. Now, once you're through with these basic integrations, there's one more tool that I really want to focus on with you for a couple minutes. And that tool that I think is so vital to you, it is an exit realty tool. It is in the Exit Resource Center, but very few people know how to use it the right way. And that is, you go in and you get your what? Your presentation set up. So if you go into your Exit Resource Center and then you click on the marketing tab and then you click on presentations, you need to set up your presentations. Now I have all the information on how you to do that. You can go right into the Resource Center and I'll show you in a second and remind you where those videos live so that you can find that. But the beauty of it is twofold. Number one, when you are sending these out to people, it answers so many questions for them. It's a beautiful presentation. Number two, if you send it to them specifically, it'll go automatically into Wise Agent because you did what? You sent something. You put it to you send it to them. The Resource Center knows that's a lead. That's a contact. It should be a contact, right? Guess what? If you've got the generic buyer guide and the generic seller guide, like I've set up some of mine to be, or if you send it to them and they fill this out, you get this and it also goes in your Wise Agent. This is a lead to your Wise Agent as well. So can I make your life easier? What if you're at a home buyer seminar? I really wish I'd had this on Wednesday night and said, "Hey guys, I did have it. I just didn't talk about it because I was doing the seminar for you." So this is so easy to set these up. And then once you set these up, everything is feeding into what? Your Wise Agent. And then you can start later on setting up drip campaigns. That's kind of a 2.0 schedule. 2.0 landing pages, drip campaigns. We just need to get you today to the point of being ready to start sending things out to folks, right? Because you've got to have everything feeding in. Think of it this way. Today is feeding in. And then throughout the year, we'll show you how to do what? Put content out. And if you need to know where the content lives in Wise Agent that you can blast out at a moment's notice by email, why don't I go ahead and show you that as well? So in your Wise Agent account, you're going to click on email and then email contacts. And guess what? You have content that I've already made for you. So in that email contacts section, you click on shared content and there's some letters for you, prospecting. And then also, I've already made your newsletters for you. Look for the month that you're in. For example, there's October. There it is. And it's got the event of the month, the graphic, all that good stuff done for you. Done for you, including the event itself. So, would you guys like to know a little more though? Would you guys like to go to like the next level of this? Can I show you a few more integrations?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. All right. If this was too much, you can stop the video now and you can just get started with this stuff. But the reason why I love Wise Agent so much is that it has all this functionality for you. Let me take you to the next level. The next level is you're going to start using Wise Text. Wise Text is beautiful because what do we know? We know for a fact that if you can't get a hold of people by email, what's the best way to get a hold of them? And actually, it's the better way to get a hold of them, period. It's text. It's texting. But we also know what? I'm not going to text all 400 and something, VIPs of mine or 700 past clients at once. Absolutely not. Your phone can only text how many people at once? And who wants to be on a group text with a bunch of strangers? 20 is the max. 20 people. So, and I don't want to email 20 of my clients or 20 of my VIPs together. So how am I going to get a blast text out? It's called text message marketing. Very few CRMs do it, or if they do it, it's an add-on. I have paid for 1,000 credits for you every month. So you're going to want to kind of start categorizing people, right? Into groups like VIPs, like past clients, like potential buyers, potential sellers, because those are the people we're going to want to love on first, right? Not just the general mass database. But we've got to set up that Wise Text, don't we? Well, how we do it, as I said, I give you an hour and I went through that round one of stuff pretty quickly, didn't I? Is we click on add number. And then you're going to click on yes, because I've already got one for you. You only need one Wise Text number, and I'm only paying for one for you. All right. So obviously, because I have too many of them already, it's going to say you have to call support. If you are in this for the first time, though, you have no numbers, right? It's going to say add number or pending selection. Well, here's what you do. You click on the little 3 buttons and it says select number. And see, they're not allowing me even to do a second one. Nope. So you can't do more than one. I'm not going to change my first one because I'm paranoid about it. But what you do is you click on select number like I just did. And then once you select that number, and it's going to say, do you want a certain number? Like, in other words, like, you want to spell out your name or something like that? Very few times anymore does that work because so many people have taken their name or things like that. But you can go ahead and play around with it. Let me go back into that and show you again where that lives. That is Wise Text in the integrations tab. And then once you pick your number, which you pick by, again, the little 3 dots, and see that says edit because I've already picked that one, select number. So add number, select number, and then you get 1,000 credits a month. You're going to want to do in Illinois, I think, phone number. Like, I have an 815 number. Now, why do I have an 815 number? Because it was the only place that spelled out 815-542-3781 happens to spell out 815 Liber 1. So I spent all night trying to figure out what would spell out 542-3781. I went through every area code in the area and finally figured the Kankakee one worked. I don't think you need to do that. I just think you need to run with a number that works for you and you stick with it. See if a version of your cell phone number is available. That could be an option, a version of your cell phone number, maybe a different area code, or maybe something that spells out sold or sell or Nick, or whatever you want to do. Play with that. But if none of that stuff is available, just pick a number and run with it. Pick a number and run with it. I picked a number and run with it. If you've ever been in a coaching session with me, what happens at the end of the coaching session? I send you the notes, right? From my 815-542-3781 number. Every time I use that in my mass text, you can text up to 250 people at once. I get so many people signing up for stuff. What did Lana Reiling tell you guys the other night? She didn't get a lot of response to the newsletter. She turned around and did the Wise text and people were signing up for the event right away. That's happened to me over and over again. They just see it. It's at the top of the inbox. It's got a call to action. You're done. So that, I think, is the next big thing for you to set up is your Wise text. Well, let's keep going. We're only 32 minutes in the class. MLS. Did you know there's an integration with our MLS? MRAD. So you would click on Add MLS Account, scroll down, and then search for MRAD, and then put in your information. The same information you use to sign in to your MLS account with MRAD. And then it will feed in, not automatically, but as you go in and you actually go into the properties section, it will add them in slowly over time. I don't love that integration. However, if you want another way to make some flyers and cool stuff beyond just the exit things, it's another way to make some flyers. And there is some eventual functionality we can cover another day. But that is just something, if you're going to be in here anyway, let's go ahead and do that. Lead enhancement. You have unlimited credits in lead enhancement. So, and anytime that something comes in to your Wise Agent account and it has an email address, they're going to start looking for those people's social media. They're going to start looking for other information on those folks. It is a huge way to find out just a little bit more information. So if you've ever wondered if you're already in Wise Agent and you've got a contact and you type in their name and you're like, well, where did that funny picture come from? Where did that funny picture come from? That's going to go into, I don't think we needed to see that. Just got a note about a medical appointment that may or may not be my Botox. So anyway, keep going, class. Lead enhancement, I love it because it sometimes will find people on where? LinkedIn, etc. Some other weird spots. But it's really cool to just kind of help you out a little bit. It's 99% accurate. Every once in a while, it will pull up a LinkedIn that's not the person, but most of the time, because you've got their email address, it will go right in there. So another integration that I don't talk about very much, but I think could be something very valuable for you in the coming year, Cloud CMA. This was actually one of the reasons why I chose this product for us, was that it did have an integration with Cloud CMA. Again, I don't talk about it too much because I feel like we've got other things that we want to catch you guys up on. However, you notice that there's an API key there. That's not your Wise Agent API key. That's your Cloud CMA API key. There's a Cloud CMA API key. So if you wanted to go ahead and put your Cloud CMA API key in there, do you guys want to know where that lives? I'll show you guys where that lives real quick. It's the only time we're going to go into the MLS today. Everything else, we're going to stay in Wise Agent. So Cloud CMA, again, this is why I like being a local coach, is Cloud CMA comes with your what? Your MLS membership here in MRAD. So it is my preferred my preferred CMA tool. And because there's some functionality between it and your Wise Agent, let's go ahead and put this in there. So you go under lead generation. So in your Cloud CMA, under your picture, if you've got a picture set up, click on lead generation. And see where it says landing page and then notifications. Oh, they moved it. So that is not where we want to be. Really cool. If you haven't done those little what's my home worth landing pages, nice little landing pages, but that's not what I want today. I need to get into account settings and then integration. So see, they're using the same word we were using. And then see where it says down at the bottom, your API key. Do this last because we've been using the Cloud CMA, the Wise Agent API key all the hour. So now that you're done with that Cloud CMA API key, you can go in and, now that you're done with your Wise Agent API key, you don't need it anymore in your clipboard. Go ahead and copy your Cloud CMA API key and take that over to Wise Agent. And the reason why we're going to do that is then later on, you can send out automated recurring CMAs to your database. Automated recurring CMAs to your database. Really, really cool stuff. We have not even talked about lead rules or any of the other cool things that come in. Email parsing, like if you've got a certain lead source where you're getting emails with data coming in, you can get that sent right to your Wise agent to a specific category. All these other features, you need to get this done first, these basic things, because the rest of it, it's just like there's so much this thing can do, but it's overwhelming. It's overwhelming even for me. So if it's overwhelming for me, I know it's going to be overwhelming for most of you. But the last thing today that I wanted to talk about was that Wise text. So you've got, kind of to recap from the top, you've got your Google tools that you've got to set up to sync with your Wise agent account. You've got to then get your exit tools through the Exit Resource Center connected to your Wise agent account. You want to absolutely, right after that, get your Zen list connected to your Wise agent account. Then social media, let's think about some lead gen. Your room view connected to your Wise agent account. And then our little bonus pieces, getting your cloud CMA connected to your Wise agent account, and then getting your Wise text set up, So that is basically what I wanted to show you today, but I want to end with a video that goes back to our first step. And don't worry, the video is only 3 minutes long, I promise. However, this video has now gotten over 7,500 hits on YouTube, not because I'm great. I think it's because people are struggling with this concept. And the concept is, how do I get my iPhone, to sync up to my Google contacts? Well, let me show you by literally going into my YouTube account and looking at my videos, because it is the one that gets the most hits every time. So let's go into my videos. And it is, this one is just insane now. Let me go into analytics. You guys have not ever played in your analytics. It's fun. Top content. In the last 24 hours, it's got 274 views. This thing's going to hit 10,000. Yeah, wow, 7,600 as of today. So let's actually play it. It's 4 minutes long. Sorry, I lied. I'm going to make my screen. Hey everyone, Nick Liebert with Exit Realty. And as many of you know, I'm very passionate about having a great Realtor CRM for all of our agents. I believe that a database is your gold mine, and it starts with your phone. So let's dive right in. How do you get the contacts from your phone to sync up to your CRM? Well, any good CRM is going to sync up these days to Google Contacts. So in your iPhone, if you're going to go into your settings, like I just did, and again, I want to show you, it's that little settings wheel. You click on that, you scroll down, and then you get into the contacts button. And in that contacts button, you're going to see the word accounts. You're going to then click on the accounts feature, and then you're going to select Gmail. Now, if you have more than one Gmail account, you're going to want to go ahead and use the primary account. I only have one account I recommend you using. That primary account should be the big account that you've got all your contacts in already. If you're new to Gmail, go ahead and create a somewhat professional name. Of course, you can use GoDaddy or such to have a fancy domain name, but just a Gmail account, any will do. And then you're going to go ahead and select the green button. So for all of these pieces, you're going to see you want to have those selected, especially the contacts green selection. And then you're going to go back 2 screens. So you're going to click on accounts, and then you're going to click on one more again. And where it says default account, you're going to want to click that Gmail account where it just says Gmail. So again, I do have 2 Gmail accounts, so I'm breaking my own rule here. But I recommend you have just one Gmail account, and that primary account needs to be your default account in your settings. So once you do that, when you have a new contact, every time you get a new contact, I want you to follow this way. So when you meet someone new for the first time, you're going to click on the plus button to add the contact. That should be a no-brainer. And then here's what is not a no-brainer for so many of us. We've been trained in life to do what? Get somebody's information in quick. So we create a nickname for him. Maybe it's John the Painter. Well, John actually, by the way, has his last name. And so maybe it's John Richards or whatever that person's name is. We're going to put in their full last name. if you are going back and cleaning up your contacts in your phone, because remember now they sync up from your phone to Gmail and your Google contacts, and then to your CRM of choice. All the good CRMs that I've worked with all sync up to Google Contacts. And so you want to make sure you have the person's first name, last name, and then under phone, if it's not already there as a mobile number, make sure it's changed to a mobile number. So you can click and you can select mobile. And the reason why is the best CRMs, like the one I provide for our agents at Exit Strategy Realty, they do texting, mass texting. You want to be able to market by text. So then you're going to want to put in that person's cell phone number, whatever that number is. And then, by the way, it is great on the way in the door to ask them if they've got an email address they'd like to share with you for your upcoming events. So at our office through Project X, we do a bunch of upcoming events. We want to be able to, of course, send them invitations to those events. So you would click on add email, and it doesn't matter what that email address account is labeled as, unlike the mobile number where it's important to have mobile. So if you are in a great CRM, like the one I provide to our agents, Wise Agent has mass texting capabilities. For mobile, you want to select mobile number. It does not matter which email address category you have that in. And then you're going to click done. And when you're done, that person and whoever else you add or amend or edit, they are going to be syncing up from your phone into your Google Contacts. And we'll talk more about Google Contacts and Wise Agent in another upcoming video. Have a great day. All right, guys. So that is a huge one. I just have more to say because I'm so excited about all the things that we can make your life easier with. You know what else we can do to make your life easier? Please, the Joliet Library download. Well, let me turn off all these videos. Do you need to download the Exit Realty Connect app? You need to do it right away. It is absolutely beautiful for you. It is on both your Android and your iPhone, so it doesn't matter which one. I think you should download the Exit Realty Connect app right now. Obviously, Zenlist, because that's our in-house tool. Loop has a wonderful mobile app. I write contracts in it. They're all really, really fantastic for you to use. So that is what I had for you today to show you, at the very least, how to work smarter. I have the Loop app on my phone. I have Zenlist on my phone. And I can tell you, I can literally schedule all my showings through Zenlist because it connects to showing time. And then I turn around and from there, put them in my Google Calendar. And then if my client likes one of the properties, I'm turning around and I am writing the contract sometimes in my phone with the Loop mobile app. So I have got this down to a science where I am doing a better job for my client and, quite frankly, getting more time back, either to put into my business or put back in our families. So yesterday, big videos, big time conversation on numbers. Today, how to make your life easier. And then what are we going to do Monday? Money Mondays. We are going to do habit. We are going to end this series with habit, and we are going to break down, at your request, the days of the week, how they break down to what you could be doing each day. And not only realtor theme days, but also, what if you don't have the theme that day? In other words, okay, past clients. That's always been my issue with some of these programs. I'm like, it's great that there's past clients, but for a whole day, what about if I'm new? Or if I'm not new, and like me, I've got a ton of past clients. Nobody particularly from that list wants to talk to me today about buying or selling. I should be checking in with them, but who else can I talk to? That's why I've gone back to the script basics and said, I'm going to retool those habits with you. So to review, if you need any of the documents we've talked about so far, what did we talk about day one of this 4-day series? Agent business plan. What do we talk about day two? Basically the Project X tools, and then our exit strategy workbook. We walked you through some of those numbers that I wanted out of you for your business plan. Today was simply, I want you to work smarter and I want to make your life easier. But some of the videos that you may be asking, like, well, can I get a further breakdown into room view? How does room view work? How does wise text work? Well, I want to edit my newsletter. Oh, I'm glad you asked where those videos live, because going to my YouTube channel is like going into an abyss, and I know that. So don't go to the abyss, just go to the resource center, click on my office, and right next to all these cool little quick links and the 2 documents we needed for this training, we're going to go into videos. And quick tips, that's the easy stuff. That's the easy stuff. How to submit a deal for payment, how to get started in RPR, cute little easy 13. They're normally not over half hour. Actually, none of these should be over half hour. Baby stuff. Then the more meaty stuff, the harder stuff, it's the training and tutorials, not a quick tip. It's the bigger dives. And so you already have day 1 of your Realtor business plan in there. If you missed it, you're about to have paid number 2 and number 3 in there, because this is session 3. There's the room view pieces, RPR, how to make your Zen list landing pages, because man, that's a key thing, isn't it? That's a key thing. Once you get your Zen list set up, I'd love to have those landing pages done. A repeat of this class, but I think today I liked it better, so we may take that one down. We'll try to not ever have them repeat. All different kinds of stuff. You know how to use forewarn? You know, I talk about it in a lot of our trainings. There's a video on it. It's a video on almost everything. You don't know what the smart signs are. Guess what? I broke it down for you. All this stuff is in these tutorials. There are 38 videos. So that is a lot of content. And I realize that. I think if you can get through the stuff today and get your business plan done, you are in a wide range of opportunity to get better coaching from me, know where you need to go in terms of details. And then from there, we can kind of figure out, what do we need to do as a group? What do you need to do one-on-one? What doesn't make sense out of this? But our last of these 4 sessions is going to be all about habit. It's going to be all about habit. What do you need to do daily to support this business plan, to support these integrations? Because I'll tell you what can happen. If you set up all these beautiful integrations and then you don't do any prospecting, who cares? Who cares? If you don't have some daily habits, I've set this stuff up and they're sitting there. I go into some people's exit resource center with them, and right at the top, mine has new leads every day. They have none. They've got all the integration set up, but they're not talking about their tools. So why would people text something they don't understand? You got to articulate what all this stuff is. So anyone have any questions for me from what we've covered today?
Hey, Nick.
Yes.
It's Charles. I got a quick question for you.
Yes, sir.
I have sent out emails with Wise Text. And if you look at that, at the top of it, it has composed emails and previous emails. Well, in the previous emails, they tell you how many people open your right next to right there.
Yep, I know what you're talking about.
Okay. Yes. Does Wise Agent, do they tell you, or can they tell you who opened those emails? Because what I would like to do is go back to those people and say, hey, I see you looked at my email, and just follow up with them with a quick call or something.
So yes, you can do that. You can go in here, see where it says view stats.
Yes.
Yep. So you can see the basics on there that way. I do not personally go in and see who has, like it says view sent and then unsent. You go into, I believe, each individual person to see if they've opened it. That would, be a great question. Let's see, view sent. And then I guess you would have to go into each individual person and see if they've actually opened it. So that is not ideal to me. That's a great question for support@wiseagent.com. And Charles, that might be a good advanced level thing for us, is to say, okay, who opened these? Can I get a report of who opened that? Because I just look and say, my goal is to get at least a 30% open rate. I'm batting almost 50%. on most of mine. And, I can see, okay, here's some of the links that people were actually opening up,
Right.
but I'm not looking at the individual people. That you could do, but I'm not sure whether there's a report for that. That's a great question. On the wise, and so if you click on the individual person, it will click with a green, and I don't want to click on anybody individually, because normally what will happen then is YouTube takes my stuff down because it's got their personal information. I don't want that to happen with this video. But if you can go in, click on any of the people that was sent that, you will see that individual, did they open it or not? And with the text, did it get delivered to them or not? They don't know whether they looked at their screen or not. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a great question. So if you don't mind, please email them and let me know what the answer is. Is there a way to run a report specifically to get those folks that did open it, or am I going to have to go into each person that got it to see individually if they, I guess the thought is, if you're going to talk to everybody that opened it, go click on each one of those people. You're going to be in those people's contact information anyway. I bet you that's what the answer might be, but maybe there's a better one than that. So that I would love some help finding that out.
All right. Thanks.
Yeah, no, thank you. Who else? Great question. Going once. Yes, sir.
So I use Microsoft Outlook for my email system. So if we can take the contact from there, export it to bring it into a Gmail account, and then from Gmail account that we can import it into Wise Agent, right?
Yes. So everything. So you can also, by the way, so this is a great question. Actually, this is a really good question. I'm glad that almost everybody stuck with us. Kind of like a bonus question. What if I want to import people in from another type of, great question, Sheen. All right. Probably should have covered this earlier, but it's not an integration. If you don't have a Gmail account, or you've got a big CSV file, how many of us have a Excel spreadsheet of contacts or a CSV file, something that's not in our Google contacts? Probably should be, but maybe not. Or we're doing what? Remind farming. All the other data points. Let's click on contacts and then import export. Contacts, we're in Wise Agent, and then import export. Let's go in there. So end up being a full hour. It's good. Now, for those of you that are stuck in my classes all the time, this looks pretty familiar to you. For those of you that have not, it will not look familiar to you. There are really, to me, there's only one way to import things, and that's a CSV file. That is really the Cadillac of the imports. So how do you do that? You click on Wise Agent. In my opinion, it should say what? CSV file, but okay, fine. We're gonna click on the Wise Agent button. Then Wise Agent import. Upload your CSV file here. Let me give you, though, a word to the wise, 2 words to the wise. Number 1, you want to download that example CSV file. The reason why is they are quite picky with that header row. What is a header row? First name, last name, mail address, that kind of stuff. They want it a certain way in terms of what it's labeled. Save yourself some time and make sure for Shaheen, like you may have something that says, name, and then L name, which is last name. You just need to have those header rows correct. And then, so they've got a little cheat sheet right there on that, especially when you get into better data such as what? Addresses. They're picky on addresses, not in terms of not the mailing address. They just want to know like house number. It's a very specific way they work, and it's not the most intuitive on the front end. It is great data once you get it in there. Now, method, I would recommend only insert new. You don't want duplicates. If you feel like some of it may be updating, folks, you can do insert new / update existing. I typically will only insert new. Assigned a team, leave it blank. Don't touch it. Category. Oh, this is the fun one. Everyone gets so excited that they are ready to import. They skip right over this, and then it goes into a general abyss. Now, the reason why I'm less obsessed with categories, and this is not a class on categories today, believe it or not, although normally my Wise Agent classes touch on it, is that now we're finding that a lot of you know, you're saying, I need to clean up my categories. I'm like, import the darn stuff. We'll get them into categories later because I want you to send out a newsletter. I want you to send out a newsletter because you can send it out to your entire database. 2,500 a day. So if you get an address database of 10,000 people, Wise Agent will automatically send it for 2,500 a day for 4 days in a row till you get through the list. So later on, we can go back and clean them up. But if we're talking best practices, and quite frankly, what do we say? Work smarter. You might want to work smarter and select a category to get them into. So if you don't have any categories yet, you go into contacts and then your contact list. And on the right-hand side, you can add categories. And again, some of my favorite categories are VIPs, past clients, potential buyers, potential sellers, potential renters, and vendors. I do not use a separate vendor list. I don't really know the functionality of that. I've never understood that with these guys. I just put them in a new category because they're going to be in my phone anyway, most of my vendors, right? Source. I do like to know where my data is coming from. So what would you say? Source, it would be Shaheen's Outlook email. Because later on, if there is some sort of weird thing where I'm like, where did that person come from? You know where that happens with me, guys? Zenlist. Is that I get a Zenlist where I'm like, who's this Apple Relay ID? The person signed in with their Apple account. So I'm fairly smart enough to know by the name who it is, but it's like, okay, great. But I know the source was Zenlist, so I know that's where that came from. And over time, source is going to be important to you in case we start setting up lead rules. Okay, guys? Great question. I'm going to look and we got a couple of things, comments here. You can go to reports to see open it, dashboard reports, then total monthly emails. Oh, look at Donna. Donna, Charles, Donna answered your question. I knew there was a better answer for that. Go to reports, and then under the reports tab, then you're going to see who opened it. Dashboard, then reports, and then that's in your reports. And by the way,
Beautiful.
beautiful. Yeah, Donna is another person. So Lana was there from the beginning with me on Wise Agent. Donna came on board well after I think we'd done Wise Agent and has other, positions she does. She has just taken the extra time to really dive into this, and she dived into some other stuff too that I'm like, man, you got a real, you are implementing this stuff to the max. And there's so much more, like the commission report. I'm going to try to set up the commission report for my November, because I also kind of want to know what bills I can pay and if I can spend any fun money. But it's a really cool thing for planning, because what do we know right now? We know what we've closed. I feel like a lot of people don't even know what that next check's going to be. Like they know there's one coming, but if you budgeted that out, I got to budget some of mine out, guys, before Christmas. All right. Yes.
How early will November be in?
Well, way to throw me under the bus, Emily. The answer to that is normally it's like, hey, it's October. Let me figure out what the October event is. I'm going to try to get better with that, because we know the more notice you have, number one, the more people you'll send it out to. Number two, more importantly, the real way that this should work, and guys, we'll end with this question because I believe that is the last question, is that in my theory, because I call these leveraged events, and they're not going to appeal to everybody, but it's the fact that you invite them. I have people say all the time, I'm not going to come to any of that, but I really like what you're trying to do in the community. If you get the newsletter out, and this goes right into Charles and Donna's comments, if you get the newsletter out and people are opening it, but you don't have any signups to something, you didn't get any responses, a great thing to do is do the Wise text, say, hey, I just want to remind you of this upcoming event. You can't do that if I've got the thing, I've done the newsletter a week and a half before the event. So I'm going to get better at that. My goal is it's out by the month's beginning, which means right now I have 10 days to get the event done, planned, get the event right. I mean, I'm a little staff of one over here to do the event planning. But we've gotten some great help with some people have suggested events, or, that beautiful homebuyer seminar, that was all Lana and Victoria. That was a really well done one. So if you guys say, hey, I'll do XYZ for a consumer event. We have 4 beautiful offices, plus we got these vendors that are willing to do stuff. Think about it, and I'd love some help. But November, here's what we're going to do for November. We will be back at that beautiful space again, and we're going to do credit upgrades, not credit repair. Credit repair is a stigma to it. Can I improve? Can I grow my credit? And it's not going to be just about your credit score. It's going to be, what can I do to get business lines of credit? What do I need to do with my tax returns? As someone that literally some years I had an 800 credit score and I had my taxes done wrong in order, because I'd taken so many deductions, made it look like I made no money. So I'm going to break it down, and then we're also going to do vision boards. So vision boards as well, because it's like, if I have a 5-year plan to buy a building, you know, which literally mine is now in a very accelerated one because I'm in there already. You've got to come up with what you need, and everything in life, you know, even a weight loss plan. Okay, well, now I need food. Now I need this. Is it a 12-month plan? Is it a 5-year plan? All of that can go into a vision board. And then if we can get it done in time, we're going to have a consumer version of these business plans, editable, fillable, just the pages, guys, that would be relevant to a consumer. So think of this, and this is why I'm so excited about this year. What if we had an agent or a consumer version of this? Number one, you should be giving this out to your agent friends and being like, hey, we're filling these out. Do you want to fill them out? Because the Realtor one has a lot of sponsoring stuff. But then for the consumer, you know, what am I looking to do this year? Affirmations, things like that. And then a 5-year plan. It doesn't say anything about, literally, it's like a 5-year plan. You can have a 2024 personal goals and a 5-year vision, and then an action plan and a calendar. And if we were fillable with that, we said, hey, take this home and fill this out, and we would love to be your accountability partner, but so might your, you know, your spouse, your family, your business coach, your life coach, whoever. So I really want to get that out in the community, because this is the type of stuff, nobody does this with their clients. It's like, oh, you're ready to buy or not? You know, I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be that office. So I feel like this is such a tool for empowering folks, and credit improvement, credit growth means so many different things. We don't need a credit repair seminar, although we do. We need a how to build more credit. And yes, there will be a component to that of, if you need to fix it, you know, everybody can do better with their score, but also if you need to fix it, here's this component. All right, guys, thank you so much. I went a little over on time, but I think we had some great questions and we got actual answers, not all from me. I love it. I learned something today too. Thank you so much for being here. I will see you on Monday for the last piece of this, and have a great weekend. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good question.